Hello everyone. So I know I said this would be coming out in a week time, but I decided to get the podcast done now because it's the 18th of June that I'm recording this. This will be coming out on the 20th, of which if you have not noticed yet, is the day of my 7-year anniversary on YouTube. So happy anniversary to me, I guess. We also then have what am I going on about here? Basically, no Q&A for this week. Unfortunately, there's not enough time because I'm getting this done early before I forget. But because no one asks questions. But keep in mind, you guys asked for me to do Q&As on this podcast. Okay, I'm looking at you guys. It's you. You wanted Q&As. It's not my fault you didn't ask questions. But if you have questions for next week, I'm going to try and do these weekly. Put them down in the comments of this video and this video only. I'm not going to read. If you have a question for the podcast, it has to be on this video only. No asking anywhere else, on this video only, on the comments. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is start off with the Q&A. Now usually the Q&A will come at the end of the video, but if I don't have questions, then I'm going to put it at the start. So at the start, it's at the start this time, which means no questions. So that's a bit dramatic, so I can cross this off my list here. Alright, so now on to number 2, the oncoming magic. So, the oncoming magic. This is going to be around 3 parts of this. So the oncoming magic is still being written. I've not forgotten about it. Let me see if I can find this real. Let me see how many pages I have real quick. I've written. How many pages? Ooh. Definitely not 24 pages. I've got it on Google Drive, so it's loading in at the moment. 42 pages, and apparently for me a page is around a minute, so that's 42 minutes. I'm hoping to have it be maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, I don't know, but I think it would have to be around an hour and a half. That does not mean I'm going to write another 40 pages, but I would like to have it be that long because this is a very big project, the oncoming magic. And the thing is that I'm actually hoping to have auditions for it. Now, this is still a long shot. The oncoming magic will not be releasing this year. It's a long shot from being this year. If anything, it's likely going to be released in either 2024 or 2025. At the earliest or latest. It's definitely not going to be this year. I've only written 42 pages. That's around halfway through. So I'm still a long shot off from it being this year. It may not even be 2024. It may be it may be 2025. But with how big it is, I don't think it's going to be this year. I don't think so. So I can cross that off my list now. Now I'm going to skip over to the characters because I put series before it. So the oncoming magic characters. Basically, there are going to be more than just Sköll in this. That are new characters in this. There are going to be quite a few characters. I'm going to list off a few, including the new characters. So quite a few of them you already know. So let me actually open up my Google Drive again. Hang on, let me find it. So you probably already know about Edward, Gordon, Lily, Sir Topham. Lady, you know they're going to be in there. I think it's Sunny as well. I think you guys knew about. So we have Sköll, of course. We have Thomas, who I hope Thomas Productions is still hoping to voice. I already asked him. He said he would like to. So I'm going to go and recheck with him when the auditions happen. But he said he would like to voice Thomas. So and I know how good he is with Thomas. I would like to have him voice Thomas quite a bit, but of course that may not happen. But he does. But he's the only one that I know is going to be. Yeah, it's confirmed at the moment, but I will have to recheck with him. There's James, Toby, of course Thomas, as I said, Sköll, who you know, with Harry, Bird. So quite a few of these characters have a lot more of a minor role. There is also Annie and Clarabelle. So, who are the new characters? Who are the other two new characters? We already know about Sköll, we already know about him. So, who are the other two new characters? Well, there are. I don't quite know what's the first one's going to be yet. I know she's going to be a road vehicle, but I don't know what kind of road vehicle she will be. But I know, and while I don't quite know what class the second one will be, I know what kinds of locomotive he will be. So firstly, we have Angel. She will be a road vehicle, and well, she isn't in the movie a lot. She hasn't had all that many scenes written in yet, but I have plans for it in the movie. I have quite a lot of lore plans for her, but she will be in the fan film, and she will be one of the main, you could say, protagonists. She isn't in it a lot, so I don't know if you can consider her a main protagonist, but she helps the plot quite a bit. So, and then we have the last one that we're going to be listing off is Fenrir. If you don't know, or Fenrir, I don't quite know how it spells. If you don't know, in Norse mythology, going back to Norse mythology here, I'm going to quickly go on to Sköll to make a bit more sense. Sköll, is basically a wolf in Norse mythology, and he and his sister Hattie chase the moon and sun. It depends and varies in different situations, but they are Norse mythology characters. And in Norse mythology, their father is called Fenrir, or Fenrir. I don't quite know which one it is. It's Fenrir, so I don't know how to quite pronounce that. Fenrir. I don't quite know. But Fenrir he was apparently, I can't remember much from him, but he is a character in Norse mythology. He's more of an evil character, but in Norse mythology. But yeah, so yeah, he and Sköll do have interactions. He's only had mentions in the script so far. So 40 pages in, halfway through the story, he only has mentions. So what could that mean? Who knows? You can get theorising in the comments if you like. Tell me all your theories. I may even take a little bit of inspiration from them. Who knows? So I can cross off the characters. Oh yeah, Percy's also in it. But now on to the next thing. The Oncoming Magic series. Now this is only something that I'll do if you guys want it. So in the Oncoming Magic, I've seen you guys before I do this. Would you like me to do, once it releases, an adaptation of it in a series where you have like a few episodes? The reason why I'm considering doing this is, well, I'm going to quickly go off the inspiration for this, which is the original and new Thrawn trilogy of books by Timothy Zahn. Basically, they were novels, and then they later had comic book adaptations, which allowed you to have visuals for it, but they did cut out scenes for time though, but they has the visuals for it. Would you, so if you find the Oncoming Magic movie to be a bit too long for you, because it is going to be rather long I think, would you like me to make a adaptation series? Now this will not be canon to the Oncoming Magic story. It would not be canon to it. It's because it's only an adaptation of it. It's not official. It's not officially the canonization of it. But if you guys don't have like the time to go through the entire movie, would you guys prefer to watch a cut down version of it as a series, So yeah, like a few episodes, like maybe 10 or so minutes, I don't know. They will have cut out parts though, so you may be missing out on a lot of important scenes. And a lot of Sköll's world building is through those scenes. Yeah, most of his scenes are really world building him. They really tell you who he is, so I will have to cut out some of those. So as I said, and there's a very important scene which really explains who he is in it, and I may actually have to cut that out. But I don't know yet, because of course I have not made the movie, I haven't even started writing the series yet, because I'm waiting to see if you guys would like that. Would you like to watch a cut down version of it with, of course, some removed scenes, some scenes shortened, but that's if you guys, of course, would like that. So let me know in the comments if you would like that, because I think this would be a lot easier for some of you guys to watch. But keep in mind that is only if you guys want it. So now on to the next thing. Again, I have it on the wrong way round again. Mid-Sodal Survivors. So I don't actually know why I put this on here, but basically, if you haven't noticed, I've been doing a sequel to my Mid-Sodal series called Mid-Sodal Survivors. I've already uploaded 3 episodes, Vox, Tim and Jim. Basically just goes into the characters after their stories on the Mid-Sodal. And I think I've actually improved quite a lot. I think I've actually improved through those 3 characters just through around 5 or 2 minutes. Because Jim only had 2 minutes, Fox and Tim only has 5. But in
those 12 minutes, you already know a lot more about them. But I think I did more character development in them without in only 12 minutes than I did in 4 seasons. But I don't quite know who I'm going to do next. I would like to do Jerry, but at the same time I'm not too sure. I would also like to do Atlas, Alfred and Jason. I don't quite know which ones I'm going to do in order though. But maybe if you guys want to, you can vote in the comments if you like. I'm asking quite a lot of you here in the comments. I will get round to all the Mid-Sodal characters that left the railway in season 3 and 4. I don't think anyone left the railway in season 4 though. Of course I won't do characters. I won't do stories on Duke, Bertram, Smudger, Stanley, Falcon and Stuart, because of course you already know what happens to them. You know, because of the railway series, TV series, the stories I put in the season 4. You already know what happens to them. So yeah. Of course, Duke is literally the storyteller in this series, so I think it would be it would be a little bit ironic to do a story of him where you already know what happens, but I can cross it off our list here. Not really much to say on that. So the new Mid-Sodal series that I've been hoping to do. This is still coming, don't worry, it is still coming. I'm just lacking the plot for the first episode. So, I've been struggling to think of a plot in the first episode. I cannot think of a plot. I know I want it to be about Stanley and Duke. I know they're going to be guaranteed characters in. I know I can't want to adapt the story that Duke told Stuart and Falcon in this episode, with a few other stuff. But I don't know when this is going to be releasing. Another thing is that I'm really getting into auditions here. I've been really liking doing auditions. I'm getting big audition-y. I'm getting all audition-y, I mean. So I would like to have people audition for a lot of for these series now. I may even ask some of my friends, or as if you saw the first episode of the StreamYard Squad on my second channel, I may ask some of my friends on there. Yeah, if you have any ideas on what I can do for this series, That would be great. I kind of want to do 10 episodes per season though, which will actually may have it be more. There will be more seasons than the first mid-sodal series, but in the first mid-sodal series you had 85 episodes, and or 89 if you're counting the movies. But if you don't, then it's 85. You had 4 movies, 85 episodes. Whereas in this, because I'm starting this in 1900, which is quite a bit after the railway opens. It's like two or three decades after it opens. But I'm planning to do 10 episodes a season, each episode taking place within a year, within it being a story within a year. So that's an idea I have at the moment. I don't quite know if I'm going to be doing it, so I may up the episode count to have like 2 stories a year, in which case we'll make the series have far more episodes than the first mid-sodal series, because it would then go on for 5 seasons. So yeah, if you guys would like that, then that's fine with me, but don't quite know how I'm going to do this series at the moment. But bear with me, it is coming, it is coming. And now finally, on our last thing, phew, 16 minutes and we're finally here. We have the captain. Oh, I did not mean to do that then. I just made it all small. But thank you. So when we have the captain. So the captain is going to be, is still on the way. It is coming. It is on the way. I just have not been able to get a chance to build a lot of sets yet. The thing is with the captain, it's a very time consuming thing to do, because I have to build the sets, and literally only one set took me around maybe a week or 2 just to complete, excluding all the days. Actually more of a week, maybe less than a week, but excluding the days where I didn't do it, it took me around at least a week, maybe 2 or some, maybe 1 and a few days, weeks. Maybe a week and a few days. I can't quite remember, but that's because of the amount of detail I'm having to put in. The first that one was for the 4th story, and I still need to build one of the other sets for it. So yeah, the captain's going to be quite a big series to get done. It's going to be don't expect it to, there will probably be quite a few delays and gap years when it comes to the captain. I have a lot of it planned. I have a lot planned. I already have ideas for the very final episode. So it's going to be a big series. That's why it hasn't come yet. It's just really, it's too big. So much for it. I have to do so much for it. It takes a lot of work to do, and yeah. Especially with how the style I'm doing it, I have to take pictures of all the characters, all in different positions, each for every frame, and then I have to do it all over again for a different shot, and so on. And then I have to add in some effects and such. There is an advantage to that though, because I can make some of the characters that if I wasn't doing it, if it was acting, I wouldn't have been able to do it that well. But if it wasn't acting, I could do it that well. So yeah. Anyway, now just bring it to a close so I can cross the captain off my list here. So there are a few characters in the final episode, in the third to last episode. There's a lot of setting up through a sentence of dialogue for the entire series. Not very direct, but not all of it is direct. But I'm just gonna put that in there. So that's it for this podcast. Happy 20th anniversary to me, I guess. A lot of work to do. So yeah, I will hopefully get a few. Maybe we can get a few people on the someday. I don't know. So, yeah, I'll see you all in later, I guess. I have no idea what I'm going to call this podcast. So I'll figure it out when I'm uploading it and having to make the thumbnail. So yeah, bye.